Sip Ashok Chotwani, Sip Hitkari ji, Sip Girish, Sip Sudeep, Sip Parvati Amma, Sip Samatma, Sip Matkula Anand, Sip Ru, Sip Atmatray, Sip Bliko, Sip Kavita, Sip Sagai, Sip Rajratnam, me, Sip Dasi, Sip Kundan, Sip Bliss, Sip Pankaj, Sip Yogini, Sip Chidanand, I hope you are well, Sip Rekha. And the rest of you who are still coming onto the call, welcome. Today is a Friday evening, and as we start, our subject of discussion today is Pirlu. Coffee? Is Pirlu. Some of you are familiar with Pirlu, some of you are not. But by end of the session today, not only will you be familiar, but you will realize something very profound. You will realize that the goal of life is Pirlu. What is the goal of life? Have you ever thought? The goal of life is this magical formula, my dear friends. The journey to attain life's ultimate goal is Pirlu. You may think, kya ye Pirlu kya hai? Huh? Some of you don't know, but Pirlu is a magic. Those of you who are a little familiar with Pirlu, you understand the power of Pirlu. The power that is 5 phases of life: purification, illumination, realization, liberation, and unification. There are 5 phases of life. And if you miss these 5 phases of life, have you heard that story of the man who went in Africa on a boat? Have I told you the African boat story? Have I told you? In the African boat story, that scientist was talking to this African boatman. And the scientist was telling this boatman, do you know how many stars are there in the sky? The boatman said, no, sir, I don't know. Then he said, do you know how many fish are there in the ocean? I said, sir, sorry, sir, I don't know. He said, do you know how many nerves are there in the human body? And the boatman said, sorry, sir, I don't know, sir. He said, do you know how many kind of animals and insects are there in the African forest? The boatman said, sir, sorry, sir, I don't know. He said, okay, tell me, how many countries are there in the world? So simply. He said, sorry, sir, I don't know. Just then, he was riding the boat. The boatman told the scientist, sir, now there are going to be rapids. There are going to be rapids, and the boat is going to turn around, and you have to swim. Sir, do you know swimming? He said, sorry, sir, I don't know. He said, sir, you know everything in this world, but now the boat is going to go ulta, and you are going to sink. You know everything, scientist, sir, but you don't know swimming. You're going to die now. You are going to die. My dear friends, you know everything, but you don't know Pirlu. P-I-R-L-U. You are going to be finished. If you don't know Pirlu, like this boatman told the scientist, you know everything. But do you know? Do you know the truth? What? जीवन क्या है कोई न जाने, सब समझते हम ये जाने, सच का एहसास जो है करते वही जाने, जीवन क्या है अनुभूति अपरोक्ष है, कृपा से ही ये होता है, अविद्या में जो जीते हैं वो जीते हैं और मर जाते, सच का एहसास जो है करते वो ही जाने, जीवन क्या है. Do you know the meaning of life? Or are you like that scientist who's giving lecture to that boatman? Do you know the meaning of life, my dear friends? Pirlu, purification, illumination, realization, liberation, unification. The magic of life, the magic of the goal of life is pillow. How many people understand the truth about life? जीवन का मतलब क्या है? लोग समझते खुश होना है, पर जो संसार में जीता वो दुखी होके मरता है। अपरोक्ष अनुभूति जो करता जीवन का मकसद जानता है, जग से हमें मुक्त होना, से एक होना है। लोग जीते मरते पुनर्जन्म लेते हैं, मुक्ति नहीं पाते, प्रभु को हमें पाना है, जीवन का मकसद यही है। How many of us know, my dear friends, the purpose of life? Purification, illumination, realization, liberation, and unification. What is this purification? You know what is this purification? Cleaning up, cleansing, removing the junk, overcoming ignorance, the myth that we have grown up with. We have been taught so many lies. We have been taught by our parents, by our teachers, by our religion. So many myth. Myth means fairy tales. So many stories. How do you clean the junk? Suppose your house has got a lot of garbage. What do? You whitewash it. Deepavali. Deepavali cleaning. Karte nahi karte. We wash it, we paint it, we clean it. You can remove garbage with a broom, but you cannot remove darkness from the room with a broom. Can you? Can you take a broom and sweep away ignorance from a room? You cannot. How do you take out the darkness from a room? You need to switch on the light. And this light is called enlightenment. Enlightenment means to be enlightened. We need purification. The first step is purification. A professor, a Zen master, and he told the Zen master, explain to me enlightenment, explain to me Zen. The master said, okay. He gave him a cup of coffee. He started pouring coffee in the cup. As he kept pouring, he kept on pouring and pouring and pouring and overflowing. And he kept on pouring, kept on pouring, kept on pouring. The professor got impatient. He said, why are you going on pouring coffee? The cup is overflowing, it's full. The Zen master said, your cup of life is full. You are going on pouring information and garbage into your cup of life. If you want to learn enlightenment, empty the cup, wash the cup, empty the cup. How many of us are willing to empty the cup of our life? We have got certain concepts and we are living with those concepts. We have been indoctrinated. We have been made to believe in so many things. But हम यकीन करते हैं. Andhvishwas. Andhvishwas, bliss means blind belief. There is blind belief, dear friends. How will we be able to reach that state of enlightenment when there is so much ignorance in our life? So the first step of our life is purification. Pirlu, P-I, illumination, switching on the light. The truth must be revealed. We have made new. I don't know how many of you have seen the cup. Sudeep, have you seen the cup, Sudeep? The cup is like this, and if you pour coffee in the cup, the black cup becomes white. It collects from me after a few days. I think stock is coming. The black cup becomes white, and I think quote that they have written here is pour the, what is the quote? In the cup of life. Yeah. You pour, I think you're muted. Pour the, you can unmute, Eru. Eru, what is the quote? Unmute yourself.
When we, give me 1 second.
When we pour the wisdom, when we pour the wisdom
nectar
of
wisdom. Yeah, when we pour the nectar of wisdom.
The truth is real. So in a cup, in a cup which has nothing, black cup, when you pour hot water or hot tea coffee, a message comes. I want to give all of you this cup. So what you have to collect from me. Some of you are far away and you say, send it to me in France, in Canada. Difficult. So you please collect the cup from me. The cup will be ready in a few days. When you pour the nectar of wisdom, so there is illumination. My dear friends, are you ready to switch on the light? You know, we have 9 doors. We have 9 doors. All the doors are looking out. We have to open the 10th door. What did Guru Nanak say? He told, Dasmai Dwar Kholo. Dasmai Dwar Kholo means many of you believe in third eye. How many of you believe in third eye? And don't think the third eye is here. Huh? Many of you think, oh, kidhar hai third eye, the third eye. No, the third eye is the eye that looks inside. It is not a physical eye. It is a spiritual eye. And that eye, when it opens, there is realization. There is enlightenment. My dear friends, first alphabet P, purification. Second alphabet I, illumination. I think that day, was it Dasi? Dasi asked me, Dasi is on the call. He asked me, what happens when you enter a dark room? And I was giving him the analogy. When you enter a dark room, you can't see anything. You can guess. Table either hoga, ye room mein ye hoga, table hoga, chair hoga, ye hoga. But you can't see anything. It's pitch dark. You walk in and you stumble and you fall. Why you stumble and you fall? Because there's a stool. There's some table, some stool. Till your hand reaches the switch and you switch on the light. Then you can see. You can see everything, my dear friends. When the illumination, in that light of consciousness, the intellect comes alive. When we use the intellect, we are able to discriminate. We are no more slaves of the mind. When are we going to reach that state of illumination? When you reach that state of illumination, you know what happens? Then you know, kya sahi hai ye, ya galat hai ye, kaise मालूम करना है, विवेक से हमें जीना है, मन से ना सोचना है, मन में ना डूबना है, विवेक चूड़ामणि खजाना है ये, इसका उपयोग करना है, विवेक को ना खोना है, विवेक से हमें चुनना है, चित्त में हमें रहना है. When are we going to use the illumination? The illumination that will take us to Pirlu. Purification, illumination. आंखों से देख सकते, कानों से सुन सकते, सच का एहसास हम करते, पर ख्यालों में जो हम डूब जाते, विवेक से नहीं सोचते, मिथ्य को सच मानते, सच का एहसास ना करते, जो सिखाया उसको मानते, झूठी बातों में यकीन हम करते, अविद्या में जीते मरते, विवेक से जो भेद भाव सही करता है, एहसास सच का वो करता है. कैसे मालूम पड़ेगा? My friends, how will you come to know? Bliss, it means क्या सही ये है या गलत है ये? Is it wrong or is it right? Is it black or is it white? You need illumination. Purification, illumination will lead us to realization. Realization. You get realization when you open your real eyes. Your real eyes. You open your real eyes. Then you get that spiritual aha. It is called aparoksh anubhuti. Ye paroksh nahi. There's no logic. There is a magic beyond logic. It is called aparoksh anubhuti. And you cannot get that unless there is purification. Until we unlearn what we have learned, until we remove the myth. We are taught about Santa Claus. अरे बच्चे को हम सिखाते हैं Santa Claus, Santa Claus, Santa Claus. बच्चे को कैसा यकीन? You know what we teach children? We teach children. One day, Lord Shiva got angry. Lord Shiva got angry. He caught his son and he cut the neck. See what we are teaching children. भगवान को गुस्सा आ गया. भगवान को कैसे गुस्सा आएगा? फिर उसे सर काट लिया. After cutting the head, then we teach. He went on the road, and the people's boys, his boys went to the road, and they found what is the first animal, elephant. Cut the elephant head and put on his son's head. And we teach all the children. We are teaching our children these things. What kind of realization will our children get? There is no purification. There is no illumination. There is no light of truth. When are we going to face the truth? When are we going to realize the truth? Who am I? We think we are the body. Arey body to 9 mahine ke baad aaye. The new book that is uploaded is what? Don't cut your birthday cake. Don't cut your birthday cake. Awake. Your birthday is fake. Arey hum itna bewakoof hai kya? Are we such idiots to celebrate birthday when we were born 9 months before? हमारा जन्म तो 9 महीना पहले हुआ. मम्मी से पूछो. Ask your mother, you were kicking in the stomach. You are alive. We are living in ignorance. We don't know who am I, who I am not, who is God. These are many realizations that will lead to enlightenment. But step by step. First, pirlo, purification. Purification means you must remove the impure thoughts, ignorance, remove then illumination. Illumination means switch on the light of truth. Then there will be realization. The realization is very important. What is the realization? Sach ko koi न जानता, ये अपरोक्ष अनुभूति है, इसका कोई सबूत ना, सच का एहसास होना है, प्रभु तो है हर जगह, वो हमें ना दिखते हैं, उनके बिन तो कुछ भी ना, वो है तो हम सब हैं। अरे कब समझ में आएगा हम में जो शक्ति है? When will we realize के प्रभु एक व्यक्ति नहीं, एक शक्ति है। God is supreme immortal power. When will we realize this? Huh? Whole day we are running a race to be an ace and we get caught in the maze. कभी मुक्ति मिलेगी? When will we be free from ignorance? Such a person who becomes free, you know what happens? जिसकी आंखें खुल जाती, वो सच का एहसास करता है, परोक्ष नहीं वो है, अपरोक्ष अनुभूति पाता है, दुनिया की समझ में बात ये न आती है, ज्ञानी अनुभूति करता, प्रभु तो कण कण में है, हर शय में वो है, वो ही तो एक सत्य है, इसका कोई सबूत ना, ये अपरोक्ष अनुभूति है. Scientists will say, give me proof. Scientists will say, give me proof. And you ask scientists, what is this universe? They will say, we know 0.003% of the universe. Right? Mr. Scientist, what about 99.997% of the universe? We don't know what it is. My dear friends, purification, illumination, realization will lead to liberation. What is liberation? It's not easy. Liberation is after purification, illumination, realization. You have knowledge, but knowledge you can get in any school and college. You need realization. I am not the body, not the mind. I am the divine soul. Even when you have that information, there is a war inside. On one side, there is the mind and ego. On the other side, the intellect that shines in consciousness. There is a youth, there is a war. And we are like puppets, prisoners, slaves. Our wings are tied with strings. You know, I was in Maldives just now. There was a big bird in the Maldives. It doesn't fly. It walks. Because it doesn't realize it has got wings. Birds fly because they think they can. If the birds thought they could fly, you would have millions of birds walking in the world. But because birds open their wings, they fly. We also need liberation. We celebrate August 15th, Independence Day, Day of Freedom. Are we truly free? True freedom comes from liberation. Freedom from the world, freedom from ignorance, freedom from fences, farces, faces, forces, freedom from attachments. We are so caught. We become prisoners. We become a slave. If you are a slave, you need to be free from the body, the mind, and the ego. You need to be free. Then only you will be able to attain Pirillu. When I wanted liberation, I said a prayer. What is the prayer I said? I said, O Prabhu, मैं क्या करूं, तुझ बिन क्या करना, मोक्ष मुझको पाना है पर कैसे पाऊंगा, योग में रहना चाहूं पर मन ये भटकता, इंद्रियों में मैं फंसा, आके तू बचा, जो विवेक दिया मुझको उसको तू जगा, वैराग्य में मैं जीऊं, कर दो कृपा, मुमुक्षु मैं हूँ प्रभु, तुझ बिन चाहूं कुछ ना, तन मन इच्छाओं से मुझको मुक्त तू करा. मैं तो ये मन्ना हूं, ना मैं अहंकार, सच में तो मैं जानू मैं आत्मा और कुछ ना, एहसास हुआ फिर भी सा, एक युद्ध मेरे अंदर लड़ता मैं हमेशा, मैं फंसा, मैं खुद में फंसा. There is a war inside me. There's a war. Do you have a war inside you? If you don't have a war, then you're gone. Yes, there should be a war. You should try to be liberated. And the fifth phase, my dear friends, fifth phase, purification, illumination, realization, liberation, unification. Unification is that moment at death, when the body dies, right? When the body dies, if we are a Jivan Mukta, if we are a Sthit Pragya, if we are a liberated soul, in that moment of death, we will be free from the cycle of rebirth. There will be no, we will not return to in a rebirth. This is possible only if you live in a state of yoga. If you are a yogi who is moving from dhyana yoga, bhakti yoga, karma yoga, jnana yoga, and a true yogi, prema yoga. Not everybody can be in prema yoga. A yogi is ever united with the divine, although he lives in a body-mind complex. Such a liberated yogi doesn't take rebirth. Such a liberated yogi is free. In the moment of death, he is free. So we have to realize this truth. The truth is that we can be liberated and united with the divine. संसार ये लीला है, दुख तो सहना है, मन हो के जो जीता दुखी वो होता है, पर जिसको एहसास होता वो योगी बनता है, प्रभु योग में जीता है, आनंद में जीता है, फर्ज में ना फंसता है, शर्म ना वो करता है, संसार के इस माया से योगी बचता है, मुक्ति वो पाता फिर मोक्ष पाता है, प्रभु के योग में वो सदा जीता है. Are you a yogi? Are you living like a yogi? प्रभु के योग में है रहता सदा, संसार के भोग में वो ना है डूबा, आनंदा के सागर में जिया वो है. My dear friends, have you experienced the Ananda, the divinity of spirituality of Sat Chit Anand? When you love the divine, when there is divine love in your life, you are in a state of prema yoga, then you see हर इंसान में भगवान है, हर कण कण में भगवान है. You see everything beautiful as divine. Satyam Shivam Sundaram, Satyam Shivam Sundaram. This happens with Pirlo. Purification, illumination, realization, liberation, unification. If you are a true yogi, then you will be liberated in the moment of death. My dear friends, if you don't have purification, then you're going to be caught. If you don't have illumination, you will be in darkness. If you don't have realization, you will be 99% of the world who lives and dies in ignorance. If you don't have liberation, your wings will be tied with strings and you will your misery to your grave because you are a slave. And if you don't have unification with the divine, you will be reborn, and this will go on and on and on and on. You will be born as Mary or Smith or John. But this will go on and on. My dear friends, before I close, let me tell you a small story. There was a king, a very rich king, and he was conquering kingdom after kingdom after kingdom. And every time they conquered the kingdom, he was bringing truckloads of diamonds and gold and jewelry. He didn't know what to do. He had so many diamonds and diamonds. It became a problem. So he had a very trusted minister. He and the minister, they went to the jungle, the middle of the jungle, and they made a treasury room under the ground. Room, big, huge, 1 room, 2 rooms, 3 rooms. It was mostly under the ground. The entry was on the top. The had 2 keys. The king had 1 key and the minister had the 2nd key. The trusted minister of the king. So every month he would go and check and give the report to the king. Sir, sab theek hai. One day the king went there. The king opened the door and he walked inside. He was, and wow, crystals, crystals, big crystals, diamonds, big, what beautiful stones, precious stones and jewelry. The king went from room to room. As he was seeing it, he left the door open because he never comes here. He came after many months. By coincidence, it happened to be the same day of the minister's checking. The minister doors open. He got scared. So he peeped inside. He saw first room, All the jewelry is okay? My God, I forgot to lock last time. So he came, he locked it nicely, double locked it, and he went back. After 1 hour or 2 hours, the king wanted to come out. The treasure is locked. The king banged and banged and banged. The door is not opening. It was a solid door. The king started to cry. He told all the diamonds, "Oh, my hire, my diamonds, please give me a little water. I'm thirsty." But the diamond looking at the king and wondering, what are you talking? Ultimately, the story, to cut the long story short, the king died. The minister, in the meanwhile, first 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, searched for the king everywhere, could not find. It was only after 1 month when the minister just 1 day came to check the room, he opened and he saw the dead body of the king inside the room. My dear friends, what does this story tell us? We are so enamored by the gold and the diamonds of this world. What will we do? What will you do? How many of gold and diamonds you have? How much of money you have? Can you take it with you? Can you take a pin with you? The story of the king makes us realize that our goal is pirlu, purification, illumination, realization, liberation, and unification. The purpose of life is not wealth and money and gold and jewelry. You may be the richest man in the world, but your end will be the same like the beggar. Both will die and both will be burnt to ashes. Our goal is to become one with the divine. When will we realize the divine goal of life? When will we escape, my dear friends, from being like this king who was enamored? We are so lost in this world. We are enamored by food, by pleasures, by people, by possessions. Kya milega? Kya milega? We're going to realize the truth about life. My dear friends, we don't know who we are. We don't know why we are here. Pirlu is the way. And if you realize the truth, then you will be liberated. My dear, next week we will talk about God realization, because many people are confused what is God realization. So next week. So administrator, let us get on to question answers. Let us get on to questions on Trilu and realize the truth about what is the main purpose of life. Come on. And of course, any question on enlightenment, on life, death, mukti, moksha, rebirth, soul, any question. But try to focus on the ultimate goal of life. Purification, illumination, realization, liberation, and unification. Chidanand. Yes, sir.
Shivam Guruji.
Shivam, sir.
I had one clarification, or it is my understanding whether it's right or wrong. When there is realization, it happens in the mind. The mind exists. But only when you try to still the mind and you squash our ego or transcend our ego, you are into the next state of liberation.
Correct.
So that is the difference between realization and liberation.
But while what you say is absolutely correct, that the mind exists up to the point of realization, the mind will not let us realize. The mind will stop the effort of purification. The mind will stop the effort of illumination. And the mind will not let us attain realization. So the mind will be there, but we have to be able to transcend the mind step by step during the journey. And finally, at the point of liberation, we have to kill the mind. If you don't kill the mind, you don't still the mind, you cannot be liberated. Because the mind will pull you down. Up to the point of purification, illumination, realization, the tug of war can continue. But if you don't destroy the mind, then there will be no liberation. Both mind and ego. We have to drop both. M-E, mind and ego. Then only there will be liberation. कि मैं आत्मा हूं, ना मैं मन हूं, ना मैं तन मन अहंकार. I am not this, I am that. Neti neti tatvamasi. We need to reach that state.
Thank you very much.
Right, sir? I hope we are on the same page.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yes, you must clarify whatever doubts you have, my dear friends, because there will be elements of doubt. Don't feel shy to ask the question. It is only when we ask, we investigate, we realize the truth. Yes, over to you. I'm silent, waiting for your questions.
शिवम,
Shivam Yogini.
आपने कहा था third eye is the spiritual eye.
Yes.
So, like when we are enlightened, we come to know when the third eye is open. That means we are enlightened. करके ऐसे कैसे कुछ sign या कुछ ऐसा लग पता चलता है.
जब आप रूम में जाते हैं, जिसमें आप कुछ भी नहीं दिखता है, तो what is the sign कि अभी light on हुआ है?
That is we switch it on.
नहीं, you don't switch on. You are in the room. Rekha enters. You are in the dark room and you call Rekha, please come. Rekha comes. When do you know that the light has come on in the room?
When it is illuminated.
When you can
रोशनी
see
आती है
everything.
जब.
No, the moment she switches the button, you can see the light in the room. You can see everything. No? Rekha will switch on button, no light. Second button, no light. Third button, no light. Then she goes and the other side and she switches on the button. How do you know she has switched on the right button? Pura light on ho jata hai. You can see everything in the room.
Okay.
So when will you know your third eye is open? When will you know your third eye is open? When the truth is revealed. When you can see the truth. What is it you can see? You can see प्रभु तो है हर जगह, हर शय में वो है, कोई जगह ना जहां वो. Why up to now we cannot see Prabhu har jagah? Why we cannot see?
Because we are seeing outside. We are not seeing.
Because third eye is closed.
Yeah.
Only these two physical eyes are open. The third eye is not a physical eye. The third eye is the spiritual eye.
Okay.
Then you know what? Then you will say, तुम नहीं जानते हो तुम सच में कौन हो जागो तुम तो ये तो नहीं सच में तुम वो हो. When will you come to know? Only when the eye opens. नेति नेति ये नहीं तुम वो हो तत्वमसि तुम वो हो ये नहीं तुम वो हो. मालूम कैसे पड़ेगा? When that spark comes alive. योगी जी तुम क्या समझती है? हर फुटपाथ के रोड पे हर एक को कहता है. That's why I tell all of you, you are blessed. You are so close to enlightenment, the ultimate goal of life. और आप लोग क्या करते हैं? मिठाई के शॉप में जाते हैं, हाँ, वो काजू कतली देना एक बॉक्स, वो एक वो बॉक्स क्या है, वो रबड़ी का एक बॉक्स, जो क्या रबड़ी काजू कतली लेते हैं, क्या ये बकवास करते हैं। We are like the king who is going in the room and enamored by all the diamonds. अरे जाएगा अंदर, मर जाएगा तो. When are we going to wake up? When are we going to have Pirlu? That is the opening of the third eye. Third eye is not Lord Shiva's third eye. Don't mythologize. Third eye means, third eye has got a spiritual meaning. You open the third eye. You come to know who am I. When you open the third eye, you come to know who am I. Then you open the third eye opens. Chalo. Next question. आप क्वेश्चन है तो मैं चाय पी रहा हूँ. If you have no question, I can have chai. Chidanand.
So one more question. Unless that
You can ask as many questions, sir.
Anyway, unless we have that realization, if there is no difference between Sip and me. That means the seeker actually merges with the Sip. Till that time, the Dvaita remains. And till that time, we are not out of the cycle of birth and death.
Correct.
Because people in Bhakti Yoga, I always find, because I'm just staying next to ISKCON, I find they keep the distinction between me and the Lord. And they do all the things except that last jump they don't do.
What use, Chidanand? क्या मिलेगा?
Yeah, that's why sometimes I feel like, looking at them, I feel like crying. They are so near the Lord, and just one jump keeps them still away, and the cycle of birth and death continues.
My guru used to always say, so near but yet so far. You know, my guru was 99 years and 6 months, and I went to my guru once, and then he stopped eating. I don't know if Dasi knows this or Dasi doesn't know this. In the last few months, he stopped eating. So they would give him 2 big cherries. So he would be eating one cherry. If they are not looking, he would put the next cherry in my mouth. And he would say, you eat. I said, Dada, what you're not eating in? And then he whispered in my ear. He said, now I'm tired. I want to unite with the divine. I don't want to eat. I said, but you can't do that. You have to eat. He said, yeah, I know. I'm just now wanting the divine and nothing else. You know, he practically stopped eating. He eat hardly so much, hardly, not even a handful. So that is something, because he was so much wanting the divine, so much wanting the divine. So the divine is away from us as long as we are in this body. But when the realization comes, then we want to be united. We want Pirlu, nothing else. Yes, please. Next question.
Ravi.
So those, yes, Dasi.
Ravi, I just want to know, because I've been hearing the Upadesh of Dada, and he says one can keep trying, but only, maybe that question I did ask on the WhatsApp. We have to keep trying and failing a number of times until the grace of God comes in. Then only we can overcome the failing.
So Dasi, the grace of God is already upon us. When will the grace of God come onto you? When you realize God is inside me. As long as you don't realize that the grace is already inside you, Dasi. It's like you.
We know all that, but the question is, we have been on a Zoom call for last 2.5 years. Before that, of course, I did not know. But let me tell you frankly, I know the facts. But of course, realization is different from knowing. That's true. But what I'm saying is, to purify oneself, you will keep failing until the grace of the Lord comes in to you in your life.
Correct. Correct. No doubt about it. You need in the magic, no Dasi, there is mukshutva. M is in the magic. M, you remember MAGIC? In MAGIC, mumukshutva is the deep yearning for the divine. A is you have to keep on asking questions, keep on getting the right answers. And G, Dasi, is grace of God and guidance of the Guru.
Correct,
You need
yeah.
the G. You need that. Then what will happen? The I, the ignorance will fall. And that happens when you're in C, consciousness. Dasi, the problem is we are all lost in this material world. Now you heard the story of the king, no Dasi? He was in a room full of diamonds and he got locked inside and he died. Dasi, if we are locked in a material world and we do not get pirlu, we do not get liberation, what is the use of the life, Dasi? What is the use? You know, Dasi, so many people in front of your eyes are dying. Many, many people, every few months, you're seeing somebody die, correct?
You're right.
You know very clearly this person has not been enlightened. You know through and through.
Correct.
What's going to happen to that person, Dasi?
It's going to get reborn.
They are going to reborn. If we don't mind coming back, then we don't have to do anything, Dasi. But if we want to unite, what Dada used to always say? Prabhu, tu hi tu, tu hi tu, tu hi tu, tu. You know what Dada was always wanting the divine. You know it very well.
100%.
Was he wanting this world, Dasi? Was he interested in this
Not at
material
all,
world?
not at all. And grapes, he had given me also 2 grapes. One he puts it in his mouth and the other one he puts it in my mouth.
In the last year, right? When the last few months
Yes,
they want to eat.
exactly.
Yeah. Because he told me.
Dada, you please, you eat. I can give it to Tati also.
Yeah. He was very, he became at one point of time, he said, no, now I just want to go to the divine.
That's right.
But
Still,
in the last meeting.
Nevertheless, one keeps trying unless the grace of the Lord falls on you.
Dasi, have you ever seen how a stone cutter hits the rock? Have you ever seen how the stone cutter breaks the rock?
Yes. No,
He takes a chisel, he takes a hammer, and he goes on, tuck, 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 tuck. Whenever I see, when things don't seem to work, I go look at a stone cutter, the rock. He hammers 1 time, 10 times, 100 times, and suddenly, as if by magic, the rock breaks into 2. And then I know it was not that blow that did it, but all that went before. It was not that 101st blow that broke the rock, Dasi. You keep on hitting at the rock, Dasi. You keep on hitting at the rock.
Trying, right? Oh no.
Huh?
You keep trying. Am I right?
You keep on trying, and you are trying, and don't stop trying. Don't get out of this path. Don't miss a single moment of trying.
Okay, Ravi, I'll do that.
You get the point. If you keep on trying, have you heard the word triumph? The word triumph is made up of 2 words. It's made up of 2 words. Try and umph. So when you keep on triumph. So you keep on trying.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Siddhanand? Somebody there? Bliss. Yes, I thought Siddhanand had a question. Bliss, yes, Bliss.
Hello, Shwam there.
Shivam, Bliss.
I would like to know. It's true if I think God will choose the time when we will get really harder the realization. Everything will fall in place only when God decide we can reach this time and this part.
God is not holding you back from that moment of enlightenment and liberation and realization. It is wrong to believe that we are waiting for God's signature. God has to sign gate pass. God has to sign your pass to pass through. No. God, my dear bliss, you are God. When you realize this, that you are sick, then, my dear bliss, then you are automatically liberated. You don't realize you are the divine. I tell people, you are divine, you are divine. I shout in their ears, but after I shout in somebody's ears, you are divine, you are divine, you are divine. They say, what you said? I could not hear. What you said? What you said? How many times? I tell some, I have told one person hundreds of times. Hundreds. You are divine. You are divine. And they say, what you say? What you say? I can't hear.
Yes,
If
I
only
understand.
if only we realize this one thing, I am a manifestation of the divine. If we only see this, that's all. We don't need anything else.
That's true. Thank you so much.
So you don't believe God is not coming in our way. Even I told Dasi said, doing the grace of God. Yeah, of course we need to keep on connected, but God is not coming in our way. God wants our liberation. God wants our unification. Don't believe that God is coming in between. No.
No,
It's
no.
your mind.
What about karma account? That comes in between, right?
No, but that's because of your mind and ego, right? If there's no mind and ego, there's no karma. It belongs to your mind and ego.
My ego, okay. But still,
If
you
you
have
drop
done
the
it. You have to suffer. You have to pay. You have to
No.
wait till situation comes.
No, you don't. Because if you know you are not the body and not the mind and ego, then the karma doesn't belong to you. The karma belongs to that damn it body, mind, and ego, which you are not. You are not that body, mind, and ego which got the karma, Dasi. You get the point?
Certainly, there's no mind and ego. Is that what you're saying? Or
There is
before?
mind and ego is ignorance. It's only an illusion. It's not true. It's Maya. The body, Dasi, it's like this. Suppose they give me a jail sentence for 25 years, Dasi. Right? I'm in jail for 25 years for committing murder. Okay, Dasi?
Yeah.
After 10 years, they come to know that I did not commit the murder. Will they say, you finish 15 more years, then we will let you out?
No. They will definitely pardon you, right?
Yeah, because they came to know I'm not the criminal. I'm not the murderer.
Okay.
So you are paying for the karma only because you think you're the criminal.
Okay. All right.
But you are not the body, mind, ego. Then there's no karma that belongs to you. You're free tomorrow. You walk out of karma.
Yeah, please sit down. Yeah. Okay.
Next question. So I have given up karma, Dasi. If you want to follow, you just follow. You follow my path. I've dropped all the karma.
Okay, good. Thank
I left
you.
it in the railway station. I left it in the railway station. If you want to, you come. I'll show you how to leave it in the railway station, and you then take the train and go out without any karma.
So what you're saying, karma is because I did karma because of the ego and the mind. Is that so? But
Absolutely.
now, if that now if it is, I have no ego and no mind, then there's karma action. Karma doesn't hold me, is it?
Doesn't belong to you. It doesn't belong to you.
Okay.
Why you clinging on to the karma? It's not your karma. Leave it.
Okay. All right.
You're not
Okay,
able
I got
to leave
it.
it, nah. But we are not able to leave it, nah. Because we keep saying, I am Dasi Budrani, I am Ravi Velwani.
No. I've left 90%, 95%.
You need to leave 100%.
Exactly.
As long as you leave 99%, you're still holding on to the karma.
You're right. Okay.
So let's go. Let's go of ego. Okay. Okay. Good. Next question. We still have a few minutes before we close. Chidanand.
I just got reminded of an incident in Mahabharata when Lord Krishna gives a Vishwaroop darshan to Arjuna. He gets frightened because he doesn't see himself in that Vishwarupa darshan, and he still maintains that duality. Had he seen himself as a part of the Vishwarupa, he would have got liberated then and there itself.
Yeah, but these are mythological stories. They are still believing in name and form, and we have to let go of this
Yes.
name and form because these are very confusing. Chidanand, my problem is many of you who get into scripture. My concern is this: that we cling on to. Let me tell you a small story. Since there's nobody asking a question, the child asks the father, explain to me where is the moon. What is the moon? And the father points out and says, see, can you see the moon there? That's the moon. And the next day in the classroom, the teacher asked the child, please draw the moon. And the child draws the finger of the father.
Correct.
The child is drawing the finger of the father.
He misses the subtle point.
The child did not realize that father is pointing to the moon. The child draws the finger of the father, saying, this is the moon. We are like this, Chidanand. We are lost in scripture, and we misinterpret. Like this little child, we misinterpret, and then we are lost. We are trying to make it as simple as possible. Try to simplify. Don't try. You know what Manji told me? You know what Dada told me? He told, don't read any more books. He told me, stop reading books. You don't need to read any books. When he saw that I had a spark of light, he said, stop reading books. This is the instruction he gave me. Of course, I was glancing at some books, but I understood what he meant. Okay. Last one or two questions before we close. Should I close? Should I wind up the session?
Shivam,
Last question. Yes, Shivam.
I know SIP resides in every being, but is
Yeah.
it to be away from toxic people in the sense like someone who is robbing our peace?
See, if you are in the midst of people who are toxic, you're going to have a challenge of being able to overcome that poisonous thoughts that the person has. But you know what they teach us in thousands of years? They tell us the importance of satsang. Satsang means being in the sang of Sat. As long as you are not in satsang, if you are in the company of people who are not supporting your spirituality, you are going in the opposite direction.
Yes.
Therefore, it is very dangerous. Therefore, I stay away from people. I stay away from all those people who are going in the opposite direction.
Yes. That is what.
It's not only having the toxic people, even good people. Even good people who are not spiritual can take us away.
Yes.
They may be good people, they may be nice people, but they don't have the spiritual energy, they don't have the spiritual strength. So they're all the time talking rubbish. They're all their mind is on nonsense. Their mind is not on spirituality.
Yes.
For you will never experience that ananda. But you want ananda, satchitananda, satke chit mein rehna hame. How will you attain that? Mithya ko dur hame karna. You know what did Chidanand tell you? Chidanand says there are people who are next to him. He's close to ISKCON. Chidanand says there's so many people who are chanting Bhagavad Gita. What happens if you chant Bhagavad Gita? Does it mean that you will get enlightenment?
No,
Will that be Pirlu?
no.
No way. No way. So it is very important, Rekha, for us to move on the path and move without any hesitation and limitation.
Yes.
You know what the Dada told me? Dada told me when Meera is supposed to have told these words. The journey is long. The time is short. What did Mirabai tell? The journey is long. The time is short.
Correct.
You have to hurry. You don't have to walk. You have to run.
Yes.
Don't think, मेरे बहुत time है, बहुत time है. Some people are thinking बहुत time है. Some people they tell me, नहीं बहुत time है, हमारे पास बहुत time है. नहीं time नहीं, time नहीं है. The time is now. The time is now.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anybody else with their hand up? My dear friends, before we end, if you want to attain the ultimate goal of life, the ultimate goal of life is Pirlu. Purification, illumination, realization, liberation, and unification. If you miss it, my dear friends, no problem. You will come back. If you want to miss it, come back. I can't guarantee whether you will come as a frog or a dog, as a butterfly, a bee, or a tree. I don't know. I am not telling you that you will not come as a human being, but it is believed that you can come back and you have to suffer. If you want to be one with the divine, then you choose divinity. You make this divine journey, the journey of Pirlu, the path of your life. Don't let anybody steal your Pirlu. There are people in my life who come and they try to steal my Pirlu. I tell them, sorry. I will not permit it. For me, my journey of consciousness, my journey of enlightenment, my journey of a yogi is amazing. You know, a yogi is always in Ananda. A yogi does not get affected by the world. The yogi lives in that state of Sat Chit Anand. He is always happy. The yogi is never unhappy because the yogi is living the Leela, living the Maya. And he knows it's a Maya. Nothing matters to the yogi. He is liberated from the triple suffering of body, mind, and ego. He is united. What does he do? He lives with Dhyana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Prema Yoga. If you can live, ultimately, for me, my secret of joy is Prema Yoga. And Prema Yoga is when you can see the divine all the time. When you experience God, all the time. In every breath, in every thought. What is the song I wrote today? There is we have to reach that state. I hope I can get that. I recorded today a song, and it's so beautiful to be able to reach that state. Because if we reach that state, then we are completely in the state of Ananda. We want to reach that state of Ananda. And if we reach that state of Ananda, my dear friends, what the song it says? मेरे चित में और ख्याल में तुम ही हो, ऐसा कोई पल नहीं जिसमें तुम नहीं हो. मेरे चित में और ख्याल में तुम ही हो, ऐसा कोई पल भी नहीं जिसमें तुम नहीं हो. तुम दिल की धड़कन, तुम मेरी सांस हो, तुम मेरी जान हो, तुम हो दे सब हो, तुम हो तो सब हो. This is the way to live. कहीं दूर पे तुम तो नहीं हो, तुम मेरे पास हो, सदा मेरे पास हो. We have to feel the presence of the divine. And if you can feel the presence of the divine in everything beautiful, in your beloved, in every molecule of matter, in every bird that sings, in every soul, my dear friends, you will be in that state of Sat Chit Anand. And with that note, it's a long call. I hope and pray that you reach the state of Pirlu, get hold of Pirlu, and like I said, fill your life, your thought, and your consciousness with divinity, with the divine. I bow down to you.